Okay, I'm ready. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayamudhirayet. Nashtaprayesha Padreshu Nityam Bhagavata-sevayā Bhagavatuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Krishne Sva Damopagate Dharma Jnanadivisaha Kalau Nashta Drisham Esha Puranarko Adunataha Srimad Bhagavatam Puranam Amalam Vaishnavanam Priyam अमलं यद् वैष्णवानां प्रियं यस्मिन् पारमहंस्यम् एकम् अमलं ज्ञानं परं गीयते तत्तज्ज्ञानविरागभक्तिसहितं नैष्कर्म्यम् आविष्कृतं तत् शृण्वन् सुपठन् विचारणपरो भक्त्या विमुच्य नरः सर्ववेदान्तसारं हि श्रीभागवतम् इष्यते तद्रसामृततृप्तस्य नान्यत्र स्याद्रति क्वचेत् य एतत् श्रावयन् नित्यं यामक्षणमनन्यदीः श्लोकम् एकम् तदर्थं वा पादं पादार्थम् एव वा श्रद्धवान् यो अनुशृणुयात् पुनाति आत्मानम् एव सः कृष्णतुल्य भागवत विभो सर्वाश्रय प्रति श्लोके प्रति अक्षरे नाना अर्थकया प्रेममय भागवत कृष्णेर श्री अंग ताहा ते कहे न यथा गोप्या कृष्णेर अंग आदि मध्य आंत्ये भागवते एकया विष्णु भक्ति नित्य सिद्धा अक्षय अव्यया भागवत शास्त्रे से भक्तिर तत्व कहे तेनी भागवत समा कोनो शास्त्र नहे हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So we have completed sixth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, and we thought of actually going through what we have covered as part of that, and then we will also understand what is going to come as part of the seventh canto. But I have this Bhagavad Shubhodhini with me, and which is in one book. I don't know if you can see this. This one book will have a summary of Canto 5 and 6. And then I have the next Bhagavad Shubhodhini, which is Canto 7. Um, yeah, I would just try to browse through these. Uh, of course, not the entire book. It would become more difficult. And for a person like me, uh, I can't summarize it in very crisp, short way. So I would just try to appreciate from this part what is in the first two cantos, then what is especially in the fifth canto, what we discussed, what is sixth canto, because today, since a week, there was a topic in some of the chat group which was very much correlated, where I want to give a reference of King Puranjan, where Narad Muni spoke to Prachina Barhichat. I was trying to recollect which canto is this? Is it 4, 5, 3? Yeah, so it's always nice to once again go through in this canto what did we cover. Hmm? So, in fact, um, the first two cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam are considered as the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Sri Krishna. So one should not straight away jump into very confidential subject matters of Canto 10, but for that matter, one should always understand why one should read Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is a subject matter of Paramahamsas. So they relish. They rasikas. This is for one who can relish the beauty that is sweet like mango, ripened mango, juicy ripened mango, which is even um, eaten by shuka, parrot. So in that way, we can see Bhagavatam first two cantos are considered the lotus feet. What does that represent is ashraya. One, if one is saying that I am taking shelter, it is not one is taking shelter of Lord's hands. Of course, it's so nice when one is getting blessings from of course, it comes from the lotus hand, it comes from the divine mouth of the Lord, by his eyes. All this is nice. But how it starts is when one takes shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord. Hmm? And Gauranga Darshan Prabhu writes, is consider the Supreme Lord's lotus feet and form a perfect prelude to the rest of the Bhagavatam by introducing the reader to its key philosophical concepts and prominent characters. And then there are these wonderful prayers we know about. Queen Kunti prayers come in the first canto. There is, of course, this Parikshit Maharaj, what happened, why it happened, Ashwatthama, and all this nice Bhishma Dev, everything is coming in that, where we can see how they have understood the importance of taking shelter of the Lord, lotus feet. Um, there is this wonderful prayers by devotees and the Lord's reciprocations with them. The birth of Parikshit Maharaj and his activities and history of Bhagavatam are wonderfully described. Further, there are descriptions of process of creation. What is that? It comes under this Virata Rupa. How is the Lord? This this analogical or imaginary form of the Lord is described. In fact, the yogis can meditate on this form, but the devotees who are advanced, they don't are not interested in worshipping the Virata Rupa. They are interested in worshipping Krishna in his uh, Tribhanga form, with two hands, with flute in the hand. This is what is explained in the first two cantos, and there is also this Chatushloki is mentioned. And then this also concludes with the 10 topics that are there in Bhagavatam. Atra sarga visargascha sthanam poshanam utayah manvantar ishanu kathaya, then uh, nirodha, and the final is ashraya. But there's one thing more missed. Nirodha. Before that, there is this moksha. But what is the word for that? Hmm. Yeah. So there are these 10 subjects that are covered as part of this Bhagavatam that is also coming in this first two cantos explained. Okay. Then the third and fourth, they are considered as Lord's thigh, and they are predominantly discussing the topics of Sarga and Visarga. Sarga means primary creation, Visarga means secondary creation. What is primary creation? The creation that all these elements that are created, everything that is, even the um, ingredients which are used by Lord Brahma to create everything, that is what is Sarga. And what Brahmaji is using, the secondary creation, is Visarga. Sarga and Visarga are covered through the conversation of Vidura and Maitreya. So when Vidura is traveling in the forest, he comes across Maitreya Rishi, and his good fortune arises. In our life also, yeah, we might be quite busy. We are doing that. We are traveling here and there. We are trying to do so many things. What what is the time when our good fortune awakens or arises is when we come across sadhus in our life who have dedicated their life. In fact, Krishna, when he was leaving the world, he was winding up his avatar Leela. At that time, yeah, of course, we know that okay, there was a uh, arrow that was shot at the ankle, Achilles heel. Yeah, this is what they say. And then Lord Krishna is about to leave the world. At that time, it happens that Maitreya Rishi was there, and Krishna has given all Bhagavatam. Yeah, so all the essence of Bhagavatam to Maitreya Rishi. So when Vidura comes across, he was trying to understand, and Maitreya Rishi was asking, and Maitreya Rishi was telling. So all these things are covered in the third and fourth canto. In fact, third and fourth canto gives us very nice, wonderful pastimes of the Lord. In fact, the third canto describes about embryology. Yeah, if someone is have conceived, yeah, it is said that one could read the third canto, 31st chapter, which is describing how the embryo is developing, and what is the condition of the soul inside the womb of the mother, and what happens after. So all these things are described there. And then embryology, then family life, Sankhya philosophy, Bhakti yoga, Ashtanga yoga, uh, Jnana yoga, karma, and everything. All these things are described. In fact, even till this description goes, even what is a hell, how it is described. Then, yeah, then we further read the pastimes of Lord Varaha Deva, the descriptions of Vaikuntha Loka, and you know how Kardama Muni and Devahuti, they have Kapila Muni as their son, and the teachings of Kapila, which is Sankhya philosophy, that is described in the third canto, and the fourth canto is very much filled with wonderful collections of divine place. We come across in the fourth canto, there is this Lord Shiva, um, uh, glories of him, yeah. And then Daksha Yajna is coming there. Then and then the description about Dhruva Maharaj is coming there. Suniti, and you know what happens. Then comes this Narada. Then comes Prithu Maharaj. Past time is also there. The fourth canto is, yeah, so many are covered. So many nice, wonderful pastimes are covered. Prachetas, and then Prachetas after that, that comes here. The Narad Muni, out of compassion towards Prachetas, no, Lord Shiva, out of compassion on Prachetas, he tells Rudra Gita. Yeah, this comes there. Then comes um, Narad Muni goes to Prachina Barhi, the father of Prachetas and the king, and he, who was so much interested in worldly affairs, to build detachment in him, he speaks an allegorical story about King Puranjana. Puranjani. This is what actually I was looking to. So this comes in this canto, and in fact, then this goes further. Yeah, and then comes about the characters of Daksha, Vena, then Indra, and then this also describes about what happens, the prayers of the devotees, what Dhruva Maharaj attained, what Prithu Maharaj attained, what Prachetas attained. All these things are covered in the fourth canto. Huh? So in third and fourth canto, Maitreya Rishi describes the family lines of Swayambhu Manu descendants, of whom Devahuti and Uttanapada. So he covers Devahuti, Akuti, and Uttanapadas. How from Swayambhu Manu, who is the man of the whole the world, from him how expansion went further. Then we came to fifth canto, and in the fifth canto, it is said that this is considered to be navel of the Lord. Yeah, first two cantos are the lotus feet of the Lord. Third and fourth are his divine thighs, and the fifth canto is considered his navel. Yeah, and Shukadev Goswami continues on the topic of Visarga. Sarga, Visarga, and again this Visarga is going further. How the Swayambhu Manu's further description expansion happened, and describe the dynasty of who? Priyavrata. Priyavrata, Uttarapada, and then Priyavrata, who is the son of Manu. Uh, Yeah. And then the second half of the fifth canto is discussing about sthanam. Sthanam means positioning of various planetary systems within the structure of the universe for the inhabitation of various living entities. Yeah, this is more about astronomical, how is day calculated, how is time calculated, how is space calculated, what is Jambudvipa, what are the four directions, and what are different seven kinds of oceans, where they all this material existence, is described in this second half, which is sthanam, place, position. And then comes the dynasty of Priyavrata. Under this dynasty of Priyavrata exemplified, he from Priyavrata we come to Agnidra. Of course, Priyavrata attains success. Agnidra, he goes astray. He becomes um, because his wife, he had so much love and affection, or desire for his wife, that when his wife, yeah, the divine wife, Yeah, because she came from celestial world, because he desired for a celestial being, and she left, and he also left. Yeah, instead of going to the Vaikunthas, yeah, in spite of son of Priyavrata, he had this desire, and that's why he ended up not to attain the Vaikuntha. And then there is a description of Nabi, and from Nabi's son, Rishabhadev is described. All this is in the fifth canto. And yeah, and yeah, still this is all about fifth canto where uh, Lord Rishabdev is described, and after that, Bharat Maharaj. Rishabdev's son is Bharat Maharaj. Am I right? No. Rishabhadev had sons, not one. His activities as an Avadhuta and rejection. No, 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 no. Eldest son. Yeah, eldest son of Bharat is the eldest son of Rishabh. Yeah, correct. Yeah, because he had so many sons and all attained perfection. Why? Because they all had no interest in all these worldly things. And Bharat Maharaj took over the world. He ruled. In fact, he ruled so nicely that the whole, after Ilavrata Varsha, this Varsha became so famous. Everyone were saying names of Bharat. That's why this Varsha became Bharata Varsha. And then we know what happens. In fact, he, after attaining such a great perfection, he had to he had to struggle. Why? Because he had somehow developed an attachment to uh, a, a baby deer. I don't know what was the word used. Yeah, because her mother, when she was carrying, a lion was roaring loud, and out of fear, it fell down from that, and somehow this yeah, baby deer, it could yeah, fall into water, which Jada Bharat or Bharat Maharaj saw and brought her, took care of her. He developed attachment, and because of that attachment, he became a deer in the next life. And afterwards, eventually, he understood, oh, we should not be entangled. So in the next life, when he became son of a Brahmana, he behaved just like Avaduta, not at all interested in anything. He didn't, even though his father encouraged him to do the after doing Upanay Sanskar and all these things, he didn't show any interest because he knew above all this is devotion, and he already was absorbed in that. And then King Rahugana, one second, King Rahugana, wait, I'll do that. One second. He could understand because he wanted to go to Kapila Muni's ashram and get the teachings of philosophy. But then he realized that all this is nonsense. Why? Because he could even encounter in the form of Jada and learned everything from him. This is coming here, and then comes sixth canto. I think now we are entering into the sixth part, sixth canto, which is talking about Ajamila. Ajamil, who is who was a great Brahmana, yeah, but somehow because of attachment to a prostitute, he got carried away, and which is not uncommon. Uh, we can see in the case of Vishwamitra Muni. Uh, Vishwamitra Muni, though he was performing great austerities and penance, when Indra sent Menaka, then he got distracted. Even when Brahma he saw his own daughter, he got distracted. So, yeah, so these things are dangerous. But in the case of Ajamil, what he somehow did was he chanted the holy name offenselessly. And that exemplifies the greatness of the holy name. Yeah, we know that we want to be very self-controlled, sense-controlled, and all these things. But yes, lust is deep, and envy is deep, ego is deep. All these things are so deep that we never know that they come up. And yeah, the safe bet is always chanting, because yeah, this chanting process has the potency to roast all these deep rooted weeds, and Ajamil's life is a proof for that. And then comes Daksha, and Daksha, he continues to create. Then he creates um, Sabalashvas and Haryashvas, Sabalashvas. In that he creates, and then finally Narad Muni is coming and changing everyone to become devotees, instead of getting into Grihastha life, and because of which Daksha curses Narad Muni. So that is also covered in the sixth canto. And then we discuss about Indra and Vishwarupa. So Indra, he becomes very puffed up with material opulences, and then because of that, so much pride in him. Remember, this is we are talking in the sixth canto. Uh, when he becomes so much carried away out of pride, he doesn't respect his own guru. That is one of the gravest offense one can commit. Now the question can come, oh, anyway, I didn't accept someone as guru. That's not a problem. Yeah. Yeah. Just to be safe, not accepting guru is even dangerous. Why? Because without guru, one cannot progress. So one has to take shelter of guru, accept him, serve him, and then please him, and then be successful. Rather, Indra became puffed up. This is the drawback of not accepting someone as the guru. Why? Because Indra, in spite he knows that Brihaspati is his guru, he out of his position, sometimes leaders can go. I mean, this is what is the moral from there. So doesn't value a Brahmana. Yeah. So due to which he understood, he was, of course, Brihaspati didn't curse him, but Indra very well knew what he did. So Lord Brahma chastised and advised them to accept Vishwarupa as their guru because Brihaspati left. So Lord Brahma knew why this happened, and then Vishwarupa. Uh, and then what happened is this Vishwarupa, he used to secretly offer the yajna results to also demons, uh, not only to the demigods. And because of this, Indra kills Vishwarupa, and because of this, Vishwarupa's father, Tveshta, he creates Vritrasura. The only goal is that may he kill Indra. Uh, Indraha, this is the goal through which he wanted to. And then there is this pastime of Chitraketu. Then there is this Chitraketu pastime is, yeah, to know who is Vritrasura, who was in previous life was Chitraketu. This is what Narad Muni is narrating. Okay, there is this Chitraketu who was blessed by a boy called Harshashoka, son of yeah what was Chitraketu's wife name? Urvachiti. Hmm, let me see if it is mentioned here. uh, yeah, does anyone remember what wife of Chitraketu? Urvachiti is Agnidra's wife. Uh-huh. Chitraketu's wife.
Is it Prabhuji? Krita,
Huh?
Krita Dviti?
Kritadyuti, thank you. Yeah. Kritadyuti, yeah. Chitraketu, Kritadyuti, and son is Harshashoka. Hmm. Yeah. Too many names, right? So anyway, Chitraketu, who could not beget a son because of the blessings of Angira Rishi, so he begets a son. With in this book also it's mentioned his principal queen Kritadyuti. Then Chitraketu neglected the other queens, and then we read what happens, and the story of Chitraketu uh, goes in this direction where he uh, is enlightened by the son, because the dead son comes back and he tells, hey, who is my father, who is my mother, in which life are you talking, and all these things. And then finally Chitraketu becomes enlightened and he does tapasya, he attains, the position of, yeah, by worshipping Sankarshana, he attains the blessings and he becomes the head of, the leader of Vidyadharas. In his airplane, when he is flying, he goes across, he comes across Lord Shiva and Mother Parvati in the assembly of all the great yogis or rishis. And then he is wonderful, he feels surprised to see that scene, and then in his friendly mood he is saying, hey, how can Lord Shiva do like that? What will happen to the whole world when they see what will. But Mother Parvati took it in a, yeah, felt like offended, yeah, like Chitraketu is offending Lord Shiva, where Lord Shiva was not feeling offended at all. So all that pastime is also covered there. Yeah. And then anyway, because of all these things, Chitraketu, because he laughed and all these things, he got cursed and he becomes a Vritrasura. Yeah, so this is what is covered in till the sixth canto, 17th chapter. And from 17, 18, 19, I think these are two chapters where we went through. Diti became very disturbed because of uh, the descendants of Daksha. Diti's sons were killed by Lord Vishnu to help Indra. This she didn't like. Thus, she served Kashyapa with desire to have a son who can kill Indra, because she thought all the problem is because of Indra. So if Indra himself is not there, then no problem. Yeah, on one side Indra is a devotee, but Indra is also not uh, pure devotee, because he still had this desire to lord it over. Sometimes this is what happens, and but still we can see that Lord did favor Indra, because yeah, at least that much he's a devotee. So in this way, the sixth canto is describing several illuminating activities of the devotees of the Lord, who are protected by his by the Lord despite their faults. The sixth canto, we can see all they had faults. Yeah, how each Ajamil had a fault, he was protected, isn't it? Hmm? Indra had a fault, he is protected. Hmm? And Chitraketu had a fault, he is protected. So, in one way or other, all of them had faults, but they are protected. And this is what is filled. This volume of Bhagavat presents this main thing. And then when we see this, I mean, this whole description about the creation, all these things, we come to this point that we are in one way in the middle of Bhagavatam. Yeah, this is the midpoint of Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam has 12 cantos. We have covered first half. Ideally, I think Rupa was saying, or someone may also know, this is usually if one is doing Bhagavata, what is it called? Bhakti Vaibhava. I think Bhakti Vaibhava is only till first three cantos, right? Bhakti Sarvabhauma is remaining, and Bhakti Vedanta is so. Oh my God, I have to refer, but yeah. So in one way, we have covered this. Of course, if we would have done a proper course by taking through the curriculum and done some assignments and etc., we would we would qualify ourselves for this title. Yeah, but I think it we are at the moment going through Bhagavatam to appreciate the glories of Bhagavatam, to know what is in that. And yes, from seventh canto, it will be quite exciting, definitely, because we are going to discuss about the life of Prahlad Maharaj. Yeah, I think anyway, we have covered in different on Saturdays, the seventh canto. And seventh, eighth, ninth is wonderful. 10th, definitely super wonderful. 11th, yes, no doubt, it's amazingly wonderful. And then comes the 12th, is a reminder of the greatness of Bhagavatam. And there's a description of what is the glories of Bhagavatam, so that ultimately we become blessed when we finish the next 6 cantos of Bhagavatam. So I'll stop here. Maybe tomorrow we'll start the overview of 7th canto and then take it from there. Thank you very much. Any thoughts? How was your experience in last? I don't know, when was it? Did we start this? January 2024?
Yes, Prabhuji. Jan 2024.
So
No,
we
Prabhuji,
just
25.
25, Prabhuji.
25.
25. Yeah.
Yeah, in 1 hour, 1 year we covered, or 1.5 year we covered half. Of course, the big canto is 10th canto, but yes, yeah. Thanks for enabling me that we could come together, we could read together Bhagavatam, and we have come till 6th canto. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you,
Yes.
Prabhuji.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you within half an hour you narrated and explained the summary of the first 6 canto, which is anyway the midpoint, and we are almost 1.5 year. And the courses what you renamed, yeah, it is very difficult to grasp all this knowledge from the courses within this short period of time, at least for us. But anyway, at least we have some pointers. I mean, if we hear something, or then we can at least go and refer to that position. If we search it, it's not totally unknown everything, even after so swiftly covering all these things.
Yeah. When you said, it reminds me someone telling, when we are asking her, do you have Bhagavatam? He said, Bhagavad Gita, right? Both are same, right? So at least we are not in that situation that, no, these are two different things. And yeah, as you said, we know where, because when we are hearing stories, we know at least this is coming from Bhagavatam, yeah. And where to refer, to read more and appreciate it. Yeah, nice point.
And also, probably there's a good point is the weekend class, the Saturday class is more into details, and this nityaṁ bhāgavata-sevayā is a quick pass through. So initially, when we were, I joined after came back from India. The 6th canto was going on. I was remembering, I heard these things, the story of Diti begetting Maruts and etc. Then I was recalling, where did I heard it? Then I recalled, okay, this happened in
Saturday.
our weekly Saturday class.
Yes. I remember when I was going, we were driving to Golokadam. At that time, we stopped at parking place, and we read. I think that was Sugandha Mataji. I don't know if she's here now, but she was the one who was reading that part about Maruts.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Somehow we have managed to come this far.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for at least spreading this knowledge to us.
Yeah, that's what is the mission of Prabhupada, that we spread it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Good. Then have a nice evening, and we will catch up 7th canto from tomorrow. Vancha kalpatarabhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Grandhar Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaura Prema. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Path Prabhu, can you call me after this?
Yeah, I'm calling him. Yes.
Okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so
Hare
much.
Krishna Prabhuji, thank you.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much.
Yeah, Hare